Hello and welcome to the Tarot with Titania reading of the week for November 3rd to the 10th, 2023. I invite you to close your eyes and take 3 nice deep breaths and join me in this week's reading. I invite you to see a true root coming down out of the base of your spine, going down deep into Mother Earth and grounding you here and now in this present moment, knowing that that true root is not only anchoring you and pulling you into the now, but it is also a conduit through which anything that no longer serves can easily pass down into Mother Earth and become compost for your new good growth. Creator, this is your daughter Titania. Thank you once again for this opportunity to be here and do this reading of the week for November 3rd to the 10th, 2023. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information we most need to receive right now, and to provide this in a manner that we will easily and effortlessly hear, understand, and integrate for our personal and collective highest and greatest good. I call upon my higher self and the higher selves of all those listening now and in the future, as well as an overlighting angel of communication, to be present and facilitate this exchange, ensuring that it happens in the highest and best way possible, and that we cover all that is in our personal and collective heart and mind for the week ahead. I'd like to invite the 4 archangels to come and hold the 4 directions around us, creating a sacred container of clarity, of wisdom, of healing, of transformation, of enlightenment, of peace, of joy. Whatever it is that is uppermost for us at this time, may it be held and honored here in this circle of light. Wherever you are held in this circle across time and space. We are all here together. I invite Raphael to hold the east, Michael to hold the south, Gabriel to hold the west, and Uriel to hold the north. Thank you for coming. Anything that doesn't match the frequencies of clarity, of love, of light, of wisdom, of peace, of understanding is welcome to go now. And onward and upward we go. Okay, Creator. Here we are once again, this first week of November, first full week. What is it that we need to know right now for our highest and greatest good, our highest service, our best and most satisfying and fulfilling life experience, so that we can be peaceful clearings for love and light on the planet and help to bring an end to suffering and war everywhere? What do we need to know? How do we need to be? What is helpful for us to understand and grasp for all of our good? Okay. Recent past. We're starting with the Hierophant, or the Pope in other decks. This is the inner teacher. This is the guide that we all have within us. When we get quiet enough and turn within, we all have this connection to the broader, wiser part of us, this wisdom, this understanding, this broader perspective that helps us to understand and grasp everything and become more peaceful and grounded and centered and work with life in a way that is far more harmonious and easy, more flow, less effort. So this is sitting in the recent past. This is relevant to our present and our future. An opportunity to remind us that we need to go inward. We need to connect with this broader, wiser part of us. If this is what we want to anchor on the planet, more peace, more love, more kindness, more understanding, we need to create space in ourselves, and so that we can be here and connect with this and have more of it in our field, so that we can pull it into our present and into our future and be of service to life in beautiful ways. So, major arcana, recent past, the Hierophant, or as I said, the inner teacher, this ability and this capacity that we have to still ourselves, whatever practice that might be, connect with the broader, wiser part of us, have more of that in our field running at all times so that we can respond to life in a very congruent, balanced, and grounded fashion. The present card, the card of indecision. So we have this lovely individual. She's standing here. She has her sword out. You can see she is ready to take action, ready to be ready. So this individual is standing here patiently waiting for the download of information. We have this golden ray coming down into the crown chakra of her head. And so even though there's this sort of strife and adversity in the field around her, she's not thrown off her center by that. She is holding her center, holding her energy, holding her focus where she wants it, waiting to receive the guidance that she needs in order to take that step forward or to take right action when the opportunity is appropriate. This is sitting in our present environment. So often what this card does in a reading is it just indicates that it's not time to take action yet. It's not time to do what is in your field yet. The sign isn't there. The opportunity isn't there. It isn't time yet. So get back to being centered. This card here, stay in your field, stay in yourself, stay in your center, and trust that when the time is right, you will know what to do. Because if you think back on your life, that's usually what happens. We get to a point when we are confused, we don't know, we have doubts, we have uncertainties, and all of a sudden, we know some event happens, somebody says something to us, some door opens, another one closes, and all of a sudden we know what the next right step is. We don't have it all figured out ahead of time, much as we sometimes think we would like to. We kind of take the mystery away. What we're here in this process of evolution, of unfolding, and learning to surrender to it is really important. And how we do that is by having a really good grounding within ourselves, by knowing ourselves, by being centered, by having that connection to source as much as possible, alive and well and thriving within us. So in this present environment, if you're feeling like you're just not sure what to do, or there's just too much going on, or you're feeling overwhelmed, or it's just that it's too much. What's happening on the planet, what's happening out there, what's happening in your own field. When we feel like that, it's a good idea to just take a nice deep breath. Come home to yourself. With the breath, that inspiration, returning life into the body, it opens up our cells. It opens up the energy field within us. The breath is phenomenal for bringing us back and grounding us in our now. And giving us a clearing to remember that we don't, on our human level, have to have it all figured out on our own. We have this broader, wiser field of energy of which we are a part that is always there. We simply need to remember and tap into it. That's the tricky bit, is remembering that we have help and remembering to use it when we need it. The near future, we have the moon, another major arcana. So we have a major arcana here in the past, and we have one now coming into where we're moving towards this energy of the moon. And so the energy of the moon is interesting because it's a time of darkness. You know, daylight's nice and bright, nighttime a little bit darker, but we always have the luminary of the moon to light our way. So even when it's dark, there is light in the darkness. And we have this young girl, and she's wandering around the forest with her dog, and she's upset because she's out at night and it's dark and she's afraid. But the moon is lighting her way to shelter and to comfort and to well-being. So it's remembering when we have these dark times, they're always in service to us. We may not understand why or how, but they do serve us ultimately and take us to where we want to be. It helps if we can be aware of that and realize that the contrast that we live is guiding us always towards greater self-awareness and understanding so that we can pivot and move in the direction of what we want. But this card is telling us that even as we move into the future, there may be dark times ahead, and we are going to be okay. We have what it takes to navigate this. It's time to make friends with the dark. It's time to make friends with those aspects of ourselves that aren't comfortable, and understand that what needs to be brought to the light is being brought to the light to be healed. The higher octave, or part of the octave of the moon card, is sleep. So when we sleep, our bodies heal and regenerate. And as we're going through this evolutionary time on the planet, and there's a lot of energy going on, and there's a lot of strain, potentially, and stress caused by world events, we're not helping if we are at the bottom of our bucket when it comes to energy. If we really want to be in service to life, we have to take care of ourselves. Those of us who are privileged and honored enough to be in these spaces on the planet where there isn't war happening or there isn't turmoil to that extent, it's our responsibility, our privilege to be able to come home to ourselves, to be peaceful, to be happy, to be well, to be centered and take care of ourselves. Because when we are strong and healthy and vibrant, our energy field's the human field. And we support those who are going through hard times elsewhere. So you may be feeling like, what can you do in this world when there's so much craziness going on? And how do we support each other in this? Well, we can do it with the people around us by being loving and kind and supportive and generous and authentic, being very present. And we can do this by taking care of ourselves and letting our energy field add unto the field of life. Letting our well-being add to the well-being of the collective field of life, of humanity. So this card is just reminding us that self-care is very, very important, and that our self-care isn't just in service to us. We may feel like, oh, it's so selfish to go take a hot bath, or my life is so good and those people are suffering. Well, I'll tell you, you can't suffer enough to change anything for anybody else on this planet. What we can do is choose to be clearings of love and light and peace and well-being, and to hold that energy as much as possible in our human field so that we are anchoring it on the earth plane, so that as we move through life, we see, affirm, and evoke the highest and best in everyone that we meet. Because we are so well, we are so grounded, we are so whole and complete within ourselves. We have that ability to show up and really be there and witness each other and call forth the good in each other. We need to do that right now. We need to remember that there's good in everyone. And if we go around intending to see, affirm, and evoke it, then we're drawing that from others. We're calling it from them. And that changes everything. The foundation card, why we're having the reading. Oh, we have the nightmare card. So, when things just seem really bad, when we're having a nightmare, we think it's real. We breathe heavy, we sometimes cry out, we might cry, have strong emotions in our dreams, and then we wake up and we realize it was just a dream, and thank goodness. So this card is reminding us that when things are very, very intense, we have a choice with our perspective how we're going to see things. Are we going to be at the effect and make ourselves the victim of what we're perceiving? Or are we going to hold a clarity of space for new perception, realizing that we are the ones who are perceiving our reality, and how are we doing it? What story are we telling us about? How are we being resilient and resourceful about our experiences? This is the foundation card. It's why we're having the reading this week. It means that these intensities, this intense time that we're living through, the intense things that are going on, all of it, it is serving us. We have to remember that. We chose to be here. We chose to come at this time. We chose to be part of this incredible unfolding in the history of humanity. And it is challenging, because out of that contraction, the birth canal, that baby's coming down the birth canal, that squeeze that happens is essential for the health of the baby, because it forces the lungs. Once that baby emerges, there's something about that experience of coming down through the birth canal, that contraction and expansion just gets the lungs started in that baby. And it's the same thing for us. It's like this birth canal. And what are we going through? We're going through tremendous stress, tremendous compression, tremendous contrast. And it's an opportunity for us to realize that once we emerge from this, because of this contrast, we will be so much clearer about what we want personally and collectively for this planet. What do we want to see going forward? We know what we want because of the contrast that we live. And the contrast is high right now. And it feels just surreal in some ways, the contrast. And some of the things that are going on just seem absolutely ludicrous and absurd. And yet, it's there in service to us. It's there in service for us saying, not so much, not into this. I prefer this. I prefer peace. I prefer love. I prefer understanding. I prefer compassion. I prefer a world where we are here and everyone is taken care of, not at the expense of others. That we all are working together to make the world a better place for all of us. Not so some, the very few, and the very privileged have it all, while others are suffering and living in dreadful circumstances. We can do better than that. And I think my heart's felt conviction is that we all know it. And that's why this just feels so wrong. Because we know, and there's so much in our culture that feels wrong. But we need to pay attention to that. Because where that wrongness is an opportunity to clarify what the rightness is. Right relationship to ourselves, to each other, to this planet, and to life. That's what we're called to do. That's what this contrast is bringing us to. And yes, it's intense. And we will wake up from it. And we will say, thank goodness. That was just a dream. That was then, this is now. And as a result of what we've come through, my goodness, we have the capacity to envision and make the world we desire happen in beautiful ways. So it's an interesting reading. There's sort of this feeling of yes, heaviness, yes, density, yes, darkness, but understanding that there is the reframe that we always have at our fingertips, that we can always pull in. Understanding we are not at the effect of these things. We are not victims. We are powerful co-creators with life. And the darkness doesn't have to be a fearful thing. It can be nourishing, nurturing. You think about sleeping and how that incredible opportunity for darkness and peace resets our inner clock, our circadian rhythms. We're able to really rest deeply at that point because of it. It all serves us. It's all for us. And remembering that as one goes about one's day, remembering that when we come across this intensity, in some strange fashion, it is in service to all of our good, personally and collectively. And so we just need to do our part. How do we be that clearing for love and light on the planet at this time? How do we be kinder? How do we be more loving? How do we call out from each other? We set the intention. That is how we do it. We set the intention for who we want to be, how we want to be. And as we move out into life, we speak our intention into the void and move towards being that, holding that in our space. That's how we do it. And that's how we'll change this experience on the planet. Each and every one of us being better, being whole, more connected to source, holding more of that beautiful life force energy, holding a more neutral space with regards to the events going on in the world, sending love where it needs to be, asking for help for those who need it from the unseen realms, just praying, sending love and light into the planet, and being as clean and clear an individual as we can be. Living a good life still, holding good space, having well-being, having peace, having love in our hearts, loving those who are around us, taking care of our world in our immediate vicinity, and knowing that everything that we do from that heartfelt good place is adding to the good on the planet. Okay, I think I'm pretty clear about that. I think that came through, that message. So from here, let's see what our card to grow on will be this week, so that we can more easily flow into that state of ease and well-being and love and light and support. So Creator, what is it that we need to know as we move out from this reading this week? How do we ground this information in our field? How do we become this clearing for more love and light, this beacon of hope and peace, this, as I said, just this clearing for peace, for love, for well-being, for comfort and wholeness, so that we can be adding our energy to the good, living in right relationship with ourselves, living in right relationship with each other, living in right relationship with this beautiful planet and all life on her. Our card to grow on this week, please. Initiation. So that's a very, it's a very powerful card. It really is about intention. It really is about us saying yes, standing up and saying, yes, I will be that clearing for love and light. I am a clearing for love and light. Owning it, holding it, being it. So an initiation is a rite of passage where one becomes an initiate. One becomes a practitioner of a lineage or a tradition. You are not who you were before once you step into this initiation. There's a transformation that happens because of the vow that is spoken, because of the commitment that is made. And that's the quality of the Ace of Wands this week that we have as our card to grow on. Really owning our intention to be a clearing for more beauty, more love, more light on this planet. Really living into it. Every morning, saying our intention out loud. A segment intending. As we begin something, speaking our intention into that activity, into that space, so that we are continually expressing to life what we are here to do. We are continually voicing our vow, our commitment, our intention into life. We're speaking it into the energy, into the void of life, so that we are calling cooperative components to us. The word is very, very, very powerful. It is a very powerful act of magic to be very clear about what one is speaking and expressing into the world. So this week, take some time to think about, who do you want to be in the world? What energy, frequency, vibration do you want? What do you want to contribute through your life expression and experience? Because it's important. You are important. I am important. We're each of us. We're so important in our interactions, in our relatedness to each other, in our actions in life. And when we speak our intention, it's incredibly powerful. And we know when we wobble from it because we don't feel very good. If we respond in anger and we're trying to be a clearing for peace, we probably won't feel very good about responding in anger, because we've set the intention to be a peace holder, to be a clearing for love, to be a clearing for light, to be a clearing for kindness. Of course, we're going to have our emotions. That's all right. It's fine. We're human. But it's, how do we be with them? How do we be in relationship to ourselves, to others, and to the life that is around us? So our card to grow on this week, this card of initiation, this card of brand new, fresh beginnings on the level of creativity, inspiration, and passion. It's the element of fire, of inspiration. So remembering this is this opportunity, this tremendous opportunity to open into more of this in our field, but with intention, through the power of our word, calling ourselves into that new possibility space and speaking it into life, saying, yes, I am this. I am this clearing for love and light, for wisdom, for beauty. I see, affirm, and evoke the highest and best of myself and everyone that I meet. And I help to transform life through my day-to-day presence. And our powerful contribution will make a big difference in the world. So, a card to grow on, Ace of Wands, initiation. So I invite you to take another nice deep breath with me as we wrap up this reading for this week. It is a sacred journey being in here now on this planet in a human form. It sometimes maybe feels like a bit much, but it is sacred. We chose to be here. And when we come at it from that space of intention and sacredness, we can effect tremendous change in the collective field, in our own lives, in our own experience. And when we do that, it is powerful, it is magical, and it is transformative. Let's close our eyes, take that nice deep breath together. Creator, this is your daughter, Titania. Thank you once again for this opportunity to hold space and to share these readings, to share this reading for this week. I ask that you be with each and every one of us as we navigate the coming week and the coming month. The energy of November is going to be good, according to the astrologers. It's going to be intense, but it serves us. We are built for these times. We came here to be a clearing for love and light at this time, and well-being. We have everything that we need within us, especially when we remember to come home to ourselves through the breath and connect to the broader, wiser part of us. Creator, this is your daughter. Thank you again for this opportunity to read. I want to thank all those who helped to hold the space today. The 4 archangels for holding the 4 directions around us. Help us to keep our direction, to keep our center, to keep our peace. The reading is at an end. Thank you to all who are here and to you for being here every week and doing your best. I appreciate you for being a clearing of love and light. I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Take good care in the meantime. Bye for now.